Alleghany Journal TV ran into Lori Turner, who hails from Lexington now, and she is the executive director of the Community Foundation for Rockbridge, Bath, and Alleghany. And she's here to discuss what the foundation does. Welcome, Lori.
Welcome, yeah.
It's nice to see you. When was the foundation started, and what do you consider its primary goal?
We started the Community Foundation for Rockbridge, Bath, and Alleghany about 6 years ago. Our goal is to build permanent endowments in the community so that people can support the not-for-profits in our area in perpetuity.
And the foundation's assets have grown substantially over the years, I know. How do individuals apply for grants or recognition from the foundation?
At the foundation, we actually have several different options. We have donors who prefer to do what we call agency funds, and that means that they would open up a fund directly for the agency to support the agencies that they believe in, or they can do donor advised funds. And a donor advised fund is when someone gives money to the endowment but decides that each year they want to give to a different charity. So they can make a recommendation to my board, and my board would let them know that they can choose 1, 2, 5 charities of their choice to use the money for that year, or they can give to the same if they want every year. We also have designated funds, and those are usually more in planned giving, but what happens with those is that it is designated to a certain group, such as a church or organization that donor believes in. We also have what we call a field of interest fund.
Field of interest?
Mm-hmm. And that particularly means that a donor says, I don't really have a particular agency that I want to give to, but I want it to go to children's welfare.
Like a concept.
Exactly.
Now, so your foundation receives many donations, and then each year, or a couple of times a year, allocates those funds to a set of agencies who have shown the need for funds from your foundation.
That is correct. What happens is we have the donor advised funds that the donor will make their recommendations, and then I will contact those agencies to let them know that that is where the money is going to go that year. If it is an agency fund, it clearly goes to the agency that it's been designated to. But we also have what we call unrestricted money. Some of our donors come in and say, I just want to give to the unrestricted fund.
Unrestricted or restricted?
Unrestricted.
Okay.
And what happens then is my board has a committee, a grants committee, that we take applications for on our website. And you just go to the website, cfrba.org, and you apply. And you can do that anytime from August 1 to August 1. August 1 is the deadline every year. And when you apply for that, that is the unrestricted money. And my grants committee gets together, considers those applications, and that is where the unrestricted money goes.
Okay, that's how that's determined. Mm-hmm. Now, let's say that I'm a donor in the region, and I've decided that I want a part of my estate, or just I want to write a check to your foundation. How do I go about it? What is the contact information for the foundation?
Well, the contact information is, obviously, we are located in Lexington, Virginia, in the BB&T building on the top floor. That's our offices. We can also be contacted through PO Box 20. But the best way that you want it, you do not have to meet with me prior to putting me in your plan giving or your will, but it's the best thing to do, because what I advise donors to do is, if you're going to leave us in your plan giving, open a fund now, even if it's just with a small amount of money, and start giving, because otherwise what happens is when you pass and I receive your will, my board really doesn't know what your interests are.
Oh, that's this way it's planned,
right.
And there's a path that is predetermined for that money.
Good.
So it's Post Office Box 20 in Lexington, and that's for people who would like to make a donation. And it can be restricted or unrestricted. I think one thing that the public should know is that this foundation is just beginning to get some recognition around the area, especially in the Alleghany area, for its substantial funds and grants to agencies. And I think it's accurate to say that it's in the millions so far, isn't it, Lori? What now, with respect to the target area, are your grants and funds going to projects restricted solely for Rockbridge, Alleghany, and Bath?
There's not at this time. When we talk about our unrestricted money, it is one pool of money for all three counties.
Okay.
Our goal in the future is to have an individual Rockbridge, Bath, and Allegheny fund. So we have actually spoken with a couple of donors in the area, potential donors, who may start what they call a Jackson River Fund or a Covington Allegheny Fund. I'm not sure what the name will be, but we and that pool of money would specifically stay only in Allegheny County.
I see.
Another pool of money specifically for Bath County, and then the application process would change to where you were applying for the county that you live in. Currently, just one serving all three counties.
This is an impressive organization, and we thank you very much for showing up to speak with us today.
You're welcome. I'm happy.